Forbes 400 did a quick survey to find out how the 400 billionaires on their list actually made their money. Out of these 400, 127 inherited their billions, which is a total cop-out, but something that I totally wouldn't mind, and one strategy that none of us are lucky enough to possibly use. But the rest of the Forbes 400 billionaires, 273 of them, made their money the old-fashioned way, by working for it. Now that's something we can learn from, because if these guys and gals can make $1 billion starting from scratch, what's stopping us from achieving even just a percentage of what they have? That's still a tidy sum of $10 million, which would allow you to kick back and live like a college bum again. You know, like before you made all that money? Sure, some of them might have certain advantages, like being born into a country with opportunity, proper education, etc., that others might not have. But the point is that they made it to the $1 billion club on their own efforts. So why are we interested in how billionaires make their money? Simply because the Forbes 400 list contains some of the brightest and most enterprising individuals on the planet who seriously know how to rake in the dough. In other words, they know the best and fastest ways to make $1 billion. And if we peasants are interested in growing our wealth and make a paltry $10 million, sniff, shouldn't we be looking at how some of the richest people in the world are making their money? Number 10, manufacturing. If you like making money the old-fashioned way like Henry Ford and his Model Ts at the turn of the industrial age, then manufacturing might be the thing for you. Obviously, you need huge amounts of capital and scale to be successful in this industry. So unless you have really deep pockets to start off with, this might be out of the question. But then if you do make it here, the sheer scale that manufacturing requires will make sure that you'll be making millions in no time flat. Number 9, sports. If you like a little more excitement and drama in the way you make your millions or billions, then owning a sports team might just be your cup of tea. It's nice knowing that your entire business model is almost entirely reliant on a bunch of sweaty, grown millionaires being able to win a game of football, baseball, hockey, whatever. Number 8, healthcare. If you like something more intellectual and cerebral, then healthcare might be the thing for you. Do you remember how much money Pfizer made exactly when they released Viagra to starving hordes of 50-plus-year-old men? I don't. But it must have been a 5# load of money, because what else can happen when you finally give old men the chance to think they're in high school again? Number 7, energy. But if your goal is to live it up like the oil sheiks in the Middle East and parade around in your gold-plated Lamborghini, preferably with a wild cheetah as your passenger, then energy might just be the thing for you. The world needs energy. We have an insatiable need for it. We are addicted to it. It's no surprise that some of the biggest companies in the world by market cap are energy giants like ExxonMobil, PetroChina, and Royal Dutch Shell. Not to mention the largest company that probably exists on the planet, Saudi Arabia's state-owned petroleum and natural gas company, Saudi Aramco, which has been estimated to be worth up to $10 trillion. In comparison, Apple, the largest public company, is only worth around $600 billion. Number 6, food and beverage. Another thing that world needs and literally can't live without. We all need to eat and drink so desperately that we've made McDonald's one of the biggest companies in the world, even though they serve us burgers that never rot. Not only is McDonald's incredibly profitable, the people who were smart enough to secure a McDonald's franchise for themselves are fantastically rich, as well due to our appetite for food that apparently never goes bad. Number 5, media. If mass control and propaganda is more your thing, then the media industry is perfect for a megalomaniac like you. I mean, what better way to affect the desires and dreams of people everywhere than through the images, stories, and information they consume? Just have a look at how an entire generation of teeny boppers practically worship the ground Justin Bieber walks on, even though he might be the biggest douchey under 5 feet 7 inches that ever lived. If you don't believe me, this should convince you. Number 4, fashion and retail. If beautiful people and beautiful clothes are more your thing, then fashion and retail is definitely right down your runway. The billionaires on the Forbes 400 who made their money in this industry include entrepreneurs like Jin Suk and Do Won Chang. the founders of Forever 21, and Amancio Ortega, the founder of Zara, who also happens to be the fourth richest man in the world currently. Number 3. Real estate. We all intrinsically know that real estate is one of the most valuable assets we can own simply because we all need land to live on. But if you're not lucky enough to be born a monarch of England, currently Queen Elizabeth II, and own 1/6 of the world's land, including prime real estate spots like the whole of friggin' Great Britain, Northern Ireland, Canada, Australia, and a few other spots here and there, then you just have to do it on your own. Number 2. Technology. It's no surprise that technology is the second most common way for billionaires to make their money. The sheer scale and speed at which technology can reach and affect people globally allows someone to generate wealth in ways not possible 100 years ago. Microsoft might seem really old school now, but back in the 90s, Windows was the hottest thing around since sliced bread and has made Bill Gates the de facto richest person in the world for the last 2 decades. He still is, by the way. Number 1. Investments. And finally, the number 1 way of getting rich for both self-made and inherited billionaires is investing. And it shouldn't be a complete surprise that investments are the most common way for billionaires to make their money. As an investor, you can invest and make money across the board. Manufacturing, healthcare, food, tech, etc. You're not limited to any one industry. As long as you know how to pick the right companies to invest in, you can make a fortune through your investments.